Hi, I'm Jennie Fahn. I was just interviewed by Keith Andrew for the Keith Andrew Network, and I highly recommend that you watch his show. He's a great guy, and I hope you enjoy his shows.
You're watching the Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 688. That's right, 688. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Jennie Fahn. Jennie Fahn, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and to prove to them to still amount to something. So that being said, half hour every time. Say anything you want, talk about anything you want, PG-13, and let's jump right into it.
Hell yeah.
And now for people who want to know who Jennie Fahn is, this is not the first or second. This is actually your official third time. There you go. Why do you hold up 3 fingers? There you go.
Three times the charm.
Absolutely. This is your third time being on my show. And that tells you I love having you on the show. I invited you 3 times.
Thanks so much.
No, absolutely. I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, yeah, right here. If you want to see our very 2 first episodes, funny, I wrote it on both sides. Go figure. Lack of paying attention. All right, so brain fart. So our very first time was season 1, episode 17, but I didn't really edit it because you know the story. I got up to 300. It was called uncensored, and I had to do it over. But I didn't edit it out the part. So if you listen very carefully on episode 17, very season 1, I say you're episode 309. Because you were originally 309. And then, I had to do the show over again.
Right.
About that. Misinformed. So you're actually 17.
Wow.
In the video.
I got younger.
In the video, it's 309. And then the second time you were on my show was a year after. You were episode 105.
Right.
So the last time we actually talked was about 2013, 2014. It's been a while.
It was a while ago, yeah.
It was great to catch up with you after, 6 years?
Nice to see you. You look exactly the same.
No, likewise. It's funny, you have the same ringtone my sister does.
My duck is quacking.
Well, in my case, my sister says we have a house full of quacks. My dad also made a joke saying, that's another thing I miss doing, telling funny jokes and making people laugh. But anyway, I guess you ring the bell out of me. The other one was, it wasn't hinting on you or anything, I apologize. The other one was, I always wanted a cuckoo clock, and my dad said, why you want a cuckoo clock? You have a house full of cuckoos.
I must have lived in the same house.
Well, like I said, you get to see my early work, and especially in my early work, I had to, season 1, I was recording from the phone, but season 2 was directly from the phone, and as you saw, the progresses of using my brother's bed and decorating that. Now I have Zoom, and a virtual background, so a lot had changed in 7.5 years. Thank God for that.
I know. Now the technology has upgraded, and I don't have a fancy background. I'm just giving you my room here.
Oh, it's nice. I actually when I was growing up, I had a similar bed to that. So
this was my son's room, and now we're kind of using it as like an office and a guest room and our little recording studio. You can see our mic stands back here. So it's a little bit of a mixed-use room.
Well, hey, if I'm ever in California, maybe we can get lunch one day.
That would be nice.
Now, for people who want to know who you are, obviously for the third time here on my show, you are a professional actress. And some of the hit shows I was just looking at before we actually jumped on this call, you are, well, this one's still in post-production, but you are on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's a new Walking Dead series that is going to actually premiere, or they're going to do a big promotion for it at this year's Comic-Con, which will, of course, be virtual. But yes, it's called Walking Dead New World.
Hey, maybe you can wear one of my shirts as you're being chased by a zombie, or have a zombie wear one of my
No
shirts.
spoilers. I can't really say anything about it, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun to shoot.
If it makes you feel better, I don't have a shirt yet. I have to work on that. And I know it's in post-production, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm not really, to be honest, a big zombie person, but I would definitely watch your episode for it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I gotta be honest, I've not really gotten into the series myself, but I'm looking forward to it too.
Now, the next one, I found this one really interesting because I saw your most recent work, and I was scrolling through it because I was saying, okay, well, let's not sound like an asshole or anything. Okay, what shows did he do? But I saw, okay, Walking Dead, One Day at a Time. Never seen it, but it has a nice name to it.
Great show.
What can you tell us about that?
One Day at a Time. Well, first of all, it was a sitcom back in the 70s when I was a kid. And it was a great sitcom, and it was made by a guy named Norman Lear, who also created the iconic shows All in the Family, The Jeffersons. He made a bunch of shows. Norman Lear is still around. He's in his 90s, and he's still creating great television, including he did a new version of an update of One Day at a Time. And back in the 70s, it was a white family, and it was very white. It was very modern, but it was very white. And now the new version, they're a Hispanic family, and it's about a single mom. She she served in the military, and she has 2 kids. And it's fantastic. The cast is amazing. The mom is played by an actress named Justine Machado. She's wonderful. I got to work with one of my idols in life, Rita Moreno, who is an actress, one of the few actresses who has won all the major awards, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. Amazing, amazing lady. I got to work with her. So it was a fantastic experience. It's on Netflix. Or actually, it was on Netflix. Now it's on, I think, Hulu. It's on a different platform. But it's an amazing show. Fantastic.
Oh, good news. I have both of them. And now the other one I saw was you're on Grace of Anime. You're on Grace and Anime.
Yeah, I was on they briefly did a sort of a little web series of Grey's Anatomy called Grey's Anatomy B-Team. And it was actually directed by one of their cast members, Sarah. Oh my gosh, her name is, this is terrible because her name is escaping me, and she was so wonderful to work with. Her first name is Sarah. She's got red hair, and she's on Grey's Anatomy. And I got to work with some really wonderful actors who I just saw the other day on another show. His name is Rushi Koda, and very handsome, exquisitely handsome actor, and I had to pretend that he was not handsome, which was very funny in the scene. I had to pretend that I didn't like him and that I had to show a lot of disdain for him, which was hard. And then I just saw him the other day. He's on a show on Netflix called Never Have I Ever. It's Mindy Kaling's show, and he was wonderful. So it was really nice to see him again.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, my sister loves this show. So she wasn't crazy about season 2, but she loved season 1. And what I mean by that, it's Heroes.
Oh, Heroes. Well, that was a great show. hasn't been on for a while, but yes, I was in one of the very last episodes. I was in either the second to last or the very last episode of Heroes. So, yeah, that was a while ago, but it was fun.
In the last one, I found actually two more, and I hold up two fingers, by the way, just in case it glitches. You were on MTV as well, Mad TV.
Oh, Mad TV. Yeah. Wow. You're going down deep into my resume, Keith.
Well,
My memory is like, do I remember this? Yeah, it was a funny sketch on Mad TV for those people who don't know what Mad TV even is. It was a sketch comedy show. And who was one of the stars of Mad TV is
Adam Sandler.
Please give me her name.
Oh,
Give me her name. She plays the manager on the Fabulous Mrs. Maisel, and I'm gonna have to stab myself in the heart because she won an Emmy, and my husband is gonna have to come in here and he's gonna strangle me. I mean, I can picture her, and she's the mom on Family Guy. She's the voice of.
Ann Fletcher.
No.
That's Futurama.
She's such a wonderful actress. But anyway, she was she got her start on Mad TV, as did many other comedic actors. It was sort of an SNL, but it was not on late at night. It was on at
I can show
prime
you.
time.
Let's see. Who plays
terrible
Lois on Family Guy?
Here's what I found.
It's spelled it wrong. Hang on. Who plays Lois on Family Guy?
Her name is.
Here's what I found from Wikipedia.org. Lois is voiced by producer and staff writer Alex Borstein.
Alex Borstein. That's who it is. Right, Alex Borstein. So anyway, she was fabulous, and in this sketch on Mad TV, I've played this part in a few different things. I was the very short woman who was married to the very tall guy. And we had a very crazy kissing scene where we were wildly making out, and it was very awkward and embarrassing.
My favorite skit, it got letters on it, but I like stupid things. I like Stewart. Look at that.
Yes, he was hilarious. That was, yes. His name was Chris McDonald, but he's a different Chris McDonald. Yeah, that guy was hilarious. Stewart was hilarious.
Did he ever want to I was like, my sister imitates her. He look like a man.
Yes. I don't think you could actually do that sketch in today's political climate. Things have changed since Mad TV was on.
People are too sensitive. You sneeze the wrong, you fart the wrong way, you're gonna offend somebody.
Well, my farts always offend, but that's just I can't help it.
In the last one, I thought it was very interesting. It was all the way at the bottom.
Oh gosh!
Started your career in 1994. You were on America's Funny Home Video.
It wasn't America's Funniest Home Videos. It was America's Funniest People. Which was the sister show to America's Funniest Videos. America's Funniest People was actually had some scripted bits, and how that came about was my brother-in-law. It was a competition show, kind of like America's Funniest Videos, except whereas America's Funniest Videos is you catch people doing things that are embarrassing. America's Funniest People was you deliberately did things trying to be funny. You told a joke or you did something funny looking and you were deliberately trying to be funny. So what happened was my brother-in-law had done these impressions and he won a number of times on the show. To the point, I think he won 3 times. And it got to the point where the producers said to him, look, we can't have you on the show anymore. You've won too many times. It looks like the show is fixed.
Yeah.
You've just, and it wasn't fixed. People voted for him, but he won too many times. So we lived in LA and, we're in the business. And I said, well, look, he's not allowed to compete on the show anymore. But why don't we pitch some ideas to the producers and maybe we can just be on the show? Because they had some other people who did bits on the show. So we pitched a bunch of ideas to the producers and they liked it. And so we became sort of semi-regular bits. We became this like little troupe and we would do our little bits on the show every week. And it became, we just became part of the show. So we couldn't win, but we were just like this little funny little troupe. So that was fun. That was back in the day kind of thing. But yes, that is on the tip of my resume. That's how it all started, Keith.
No, absolutely.
That's how it all started. But I'm going to bring people up to date now because things do have a way of going full circle. So we were doing funny little bits on America's Funniest People, and my husband and I were writing these funny bits, and then we were performing in them as well. And now, during the time of COVID-19, and we're stuck inside, and we can't do theater, and there's no production really going on. So what we've been doing at home is we've been writing funny little bits and performing them in our, we have a little unit in our backyard that we usually rent out. But since nobody can come stay on vacation, nobody's there. So we're using it as our little filming studio, and we've been shooting them and we've been turning it into a web series. So, so kind of done that full circle thing. So if people want to see our little web series, it's on YouTube. It's called 5-Star Weekend. And basically it's about like an Airbnb, and different people check in every weekend and something happens. So that's what we've been doing, is creating something to take your mind off current events, basically.
No, it sounds wonderful. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. And with the last 10 minutes, I'm going to ask you about social media and working with people with disabilities. And then pass the show over to you.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spink.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with my good friend, Jennie Fahn. And, you know, as we were talking off the air about funny people, about your husband and his brother, I would love to have them on the show. But what I would recommend is watch the script of Chris Cuomo and his brother, Anthony Cuomo. Anthony Cuomo went for a swab test. So it said, if I give me an example, it held up like the small things, like, okay, this is the normal size.
Oh, gosh.
What we were told was this was what we actually used. But at scale, I don't have anything bigger than this. This is what they really used.
Oh, my
On
gosh.
a double barrel nose of yours. I sent it to you. It's really funny. And Anthony Cuomo's like, this is not love. On your show. It's like, no, I'm not. We're saying to the audience, this is the normal size. And supposedly, this is what they use on your nose. But they're really funny together. A lot of people don't like Anthony Cuomo, but I never met him, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. But what I've seen of him, he seems pretty nice.
Yeah.
But with that being said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sure, especially when you get brothers together, they have a certain chemistry that you can't fake that. So.
Well, I'm the youngest out of 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Oh, wow.
And me and my brother fights cats and dogs. Of course, I'm not innocent because I do instigate. But there are times where I don't, and, I was like, I'm going to pass the show over to you. But before I do, have you ever worked with people with this, besides me, obviously, have you worked with people with disabilities, and are you willing to work with people with disabilities?
I'm definitely willing to work with people with disabilities. And my son goes to a school actually for kids with learning disabilities. So I work with people with different issues all the time. So, and I've actually even been on sets where there are people with different disabilities, and I have to say it's been really, really great to see people who have different abilities and to see how capable people can be. It's been really inspiring. I think the film and television world has really learned that people with different abilities can be very much of an asset. Just because someone can't do one thing doesn't mean they might be very, very good at doing something else. So absolutely, everyone should be welcome in the world and given responsibilities, because you never know that you'll end up with a better result.
No, absolutely. And my last question for you is, apparently when you started back in 1994, I was 4 years old. And that's my first pay-per-view was WrestleMania 10. I'm a big wrestling fan. And back then, social media was kind of like, what the hell is social media?
Didn't exist.
So now, do you think with everything you accomplished, are you satisfied in your life? And do you think social media still helps you gain a broader example, reach a broader audience? Or do you think, you know what, I don't need this because I accomplished so much?
Wow. Am I satisfied in my life? That's a really deep question, Keith. I would like to think that to some extent, look, if I died tomorrow, would they say she was happy and content? To some extent, yes, because I am doing what I love, which is writing and acting and creating things. But am I completely content? No. I'm still trying to do more and do better. So I'm still trying to make the world better through what I'm doing. So I'm not finished. And so I hope I don't die tomorrow. I'm going to hang on. So I don't want to put the kibosh on me. But, and do I think social media? In general, if I get on Instagram, I usually get a positive feeling because Instagram is usually kind of happy and people post, for the most part, like happy pictures, beautiful, lovely things. Facebook, more happy, generally, mostly good feeling thing, mostly. Twitter, horrible, angry, political, oh my God, doom and gloom. So, but for the most part, I feel like social media helps you reach out to people. And if you can use it for good purposes, then it can make a positive impact. And I typically try to do that. Every now and then I do go to the dark side, and then I try not to do that. But every now and then somebody just pushes your buttons, you know what I mean? And you just can't help it, and you just go, "Ugh!"
What I don't like about Facebook recently is they start censoring I'll give you an example. They post a video of someone on a freeway, these protesters. You want to protest? I have absolutely no problem with that. I have a problem with people acting like animals and rioting. So the video I saw were these bunch of not even protesters, but a group of people going on the freeway and pulling people out of their cars.
Well, that's,
And
yeah,
I said,
yeah,
disgusting people. And
yeah,
all of a sudden, oh, your account's been blocked for 24 hours.
right.
And then there's some other stupid video.
Well, there's some really bad stuff that people can post on social media that is like unspeakable.
Yes.
And that's when you just go, I wish this didn't even exist. So, yeah, that's,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's when it gets really hideous and horrible. And, you know, yeah, it's that's when it starts to get to the point where you go, this is not human. Why are human beings do this? Why are they like this?
You can't fix stupid, right?
Yeah, no, you can't, unfortunately.
Well, you can numb it with a 2x4.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it over to you for the last 2 minutes. Was there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? This is your time.
I would like to promote world peace. I'd like to promote voting. I would like to promote voting, register to vote. Nothing will change unless we change the people in charge. So you have to stand up for your rights. You have to use democracy the way it was intended. So please register to vote. Please mail in your ballots. And that is your voice. That is the only way we can express our voice in America as it was intended. So please, please, please use it, and make sure that those around you use it. And also fill out your census form, because that's another way to make sure that you are heard. We can't get services unless we are counted. You have until July 31st to be counted.
Oh,
so make sure that that happens too.
And Piranha's got to go on record. You know, November is a very important election. Go out.
Extremely
vote,
important.
You know, get the garbage out of office. Personally, I am not a Republican or Democrat, but personally, it's time for a change, and I'm going to go with Joe Biden.
Good for you. I'm happy to hear that. And and I won't even say, I mean, we need to get this asshole out of the office.
Yes.
PG-13, we need to get this guy out. He is dangerous, not only to our country, but to the entire planet. So he's got to go. And we need to make sure that that happens. So please, people, vote.
No, absolutely. People thought Obama was dangerous, but this is
No.
like 10 times worse.
No, he's, no.
But not to talk about political things, but more importantly, go out, vote, time for a change. I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
Wrapping up, it was great catching up with you.
Great catching up with you, Keith. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And keep in touch.